watching us with golden eyes. Root and branch and sky above. One great tree is the world we love.
Hey everyone, have you ever just stopped and wondered how our ancestors saw the universe? Not as a collection of galaxies and planets, but as something magical? Today, we're diving deep into the stunning structure of the cosmos in Ukrainian mythology, and it all revolves around one powerful, central idea, the world tree. All right, so let's get right into it. At the absolute heart of this worldview is the idea that our universe isn't just one single plane of existence. Nope. Instead, it's this incredible, layered structure of three interconnected realms, each with its own energy, its own purpose. They're called Yav, Nav, and Prav. So first up, we have Yavaban. This is the manifest world, and you know it well because it's the world we're in right now. It's the here and now, the solid ground under our feet, the air we breathe. In the grand cosmic map of the world tree, Yavaban is the strong, sturdy trunk, the part that connects everything above and everything below. Then, if we travel down, deep into the earth, we find Nav. This is the unseen world, the mysterious, shadowy underworld. But it's not just a place of death, it's also the realm of our ancestors, of dreams, of memory, and of some seriously potent magic. It's the past, the source from which all life springs, just like the deep, unseen roots of that cosmic tree. And then, reaching high up into the stars, we have Prav. This is the world of law. Think of it as the highest possible plane of existence, the realm of the gods, of divine order, and of ultimate truth. Prav is what sets the rules for both Yav and Nav. It guides destiny, it shapes the future, it's the shining, brilliant crown of the world tree. So you've got Yav, Nav, and Prav. It's such a clean, perfect system, right? You've got the past, present, and future. The roots, the trunk, the crown. It's so beautifully logical that you just have to wonder, where did this incredible blueprint for the universe actually come from? Where did our ancestors write this down? Well, the answer points almost entirely to one single and, as it turns out, very controversial source, a text called the Book of Veles. This book is said to be a collection of ancient Slavic wisdom, and it's pretty much the foundation for this whole three-world model we've been talking about. But here's the twist. The academic community, the historians, linguists, and archaeologists who study this stuff for a living, they have a very different take on it. The overwhelming consensus is that the Book of Veles isn't an ancient text at all, but a brilliant and really imaginative literary creation from the 1900s. So how can they be so sure? Well, it really comes down to the language. When linguists dig into authentic, ancient texts, the picture starts to look totally different. The word Nav? Oh yeah, that's absolutely real. It shows up in old chronicles referring to the realm of the dead. But Yav and Prav? They existed, sure, but they were used as adverbs, meaning things like clearly or correctly. They were never, ever used as names for entire worlds. Okay, so if the Yav Nav Prav model we hear about so often is actually a modern interpretation, what did the original ancient worldview really look like? Let's switch gears and look at the model that scholars have painstakingly pieced together. It gives us a different, but trust me, an equally magical picture of the cosmos. Instead of relying on just one disputed book, scientists become historical detectives. They use a whole toolkit of evidence. They analyze ancient folk songs and fairy tales. They dig up archaeological artifacts like the Incredibles Brook idol. They compare language roots, and they pore over early historical texts. It's all about finding the clues. And what emerges from all that research is just as awe-inspiring. It's a world that's also centered on three levels of the world tree. High up in the crown, you have Iriy, a golden, heavenly paradise where birds fly to spend the winter. The trunk is our world, called Billy Sweet, the white world, shimmering in sunlight, the vibrant home of the living. And deep in the earth, the roots cradle Toy Sweet, that world, a mysterious, watery underworld, home to ancient spirits and forgotten gods. Now here's one of the biggest differences. Unlike the calm, orderly hierarchy of Prav, this scientifically reconstructed world is dynamic. It's driven by an eternal, cyclical conflict. It's the epic story of the thunder god Perun, who lives in the heavens, locked in a mythic battle with the god of the underworld, Veles, who often appears as a great serpent coiled at the roots of the tree. So what we're left with are two powerful but really different ways of mapping the cosmos. Let's actually put them side by side for a moment and really see how they compare. And this just lays it all out, doesn't it? The Book of Veles gives us this neat philosophical system, a clear hierarchy of law and order. The scientific reconstruction, on the other hand, shows us something more primal, more alive. It's a cosmos shaped by the endless, cyclical battle of natural forces, a flexible set of beliefs that changed and adapted with the seasons themselves. Which brings us to this really fascinating question. If the Yavnov-Prav system is a more recent idea, why is it so incredibly popular today? And the answer, I think, is pretty simple. It's powerful. It gives modern artists, writers, and spiritual seekers a clean, logical, and deeply poetic way to connect with the past and make sense of the world around them. When you get right down to it, the journey of this idea, from ancient folklore to a modern reimagining, tells us something profound about mythology itself. It's not some static thing locked away in a museum. It's a living, breathing story that we are constantly retelling and reinterpreting to find our own meaning, right here, right now. And that kind of leaves us with one final big question to think about. When we look at these epic stories that shape how we see the universe, what really matters more? Their provable historical authenticity, or the power, the beauty, and the meaning they give to our lives today? That's a question that gets to the very heart of why we tell stories at all.
Deep in the roots, the serpent